Over 60? These 4 fish are poisoning your brain and 4 that prevent dementia. In the next 10 minutes, I'll reveal which 4 fish are silently poisoning seniors' brains and which 4 could literally add years to your cognitive life. Plus, I'll expose the myths that even your doctor might believe. They told us fish prevents Alzheimer's. They told us omega-3s protect our hearts. What they didn't tell us is that after 60, your body handles mercury completely differently than it did at 40. Every week after 60, you could be adding mercury to your brain that won't leave for 5 years. Scientists just discovered that aging kidneys lose 40% of their ability to filter mercury, and it's accumulating in the exact fish seniors eat most. But here's the shocking part. Simply switching from these 4 dangerous fish to 4 safer options delivers 580 of brain, protecting omega-3s. That's 18 times what doctors recommend. The difference could mean avoiding dementia or accelerating it. The hidden truth about mercury and aging. Here's what changes after 60 that nobody talks about. Your kidneys, the organs that filter toxins, have already lost 30–40% of their filtering power. Think of your kidneys like a water filter that's never been replaced. At 30, that filter catches everything. At 60, it's clogged, slow, and letting dangerous substances through. When mercury enters your body now, 40% accumulates in your kidneys within hours, not days. Hours. And here's the terrifying part. While a 30-year-old can clear mercury in months, your body needs 5 years to eliminate the same amount. The half-life of mercury in seniors extends to 70+ days compared to 44 days in younger adults. That's 5 years of brain damage, kidney destruction, and accelerated aging from just one wrong fish choice. But let me destroy the first myth right now. Mercury warnings are only for pregnant women. Wrong. Research from 2024 shows seniors are actually more vulnerable because methylmercury specifically targets neural stem cells, the very cells that could repair your aging brain. It's like poisoning the repair crew while the building is falling apart. Your reduced glutathione levels after 60 mean less natural detoxification. Your blood-brain barrier becomes more permeable with age, letting more mercury through. Studies from the Journal of Toxicology found that mercury doesn't just sit there. It actively disrupts your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells. When your brain cells can't produce energy, they die permanently. But wait, it gets worse. The 4 fish that are destroying your brain. Let's start with number 4. The one hiding in many seniors' weekly menu. King mackerel, the deceptive killer. Not to be confused with Atlantic mackerel, which we'll discuss later. King mackerel contains 0.73 parts per million of mercury. That's 5 times higher than safe fish. Here's the deception. Many seniors eat this thinking all mackerel is healthy, a myth that's sending thousands to neurologists. King mackerel grows large, lives long, and eats contaminated fish for decades. Each meal concentrates mercury up the food chain, a process called biomagnification. One 92-year-old discovered her tremors and memory problems disappeared after stopping her weekly king mackerel dinners. Her mercury blood levels dropped 60% in 6 months, but full clearance will take until she's 97. The cruel irony? King mackerel costs $18.22 per pound. You're literally paying premium prices to poison yourself. If you think that's concerning, wait until you hear about number 2. Shark, the apex accumulator. At 0.979 ppm mercury, shark has spent decades eating contaminated fish, concentrating toxins like a living poison factory. Some restaurants serve shark steaks as exotic healthy options to unsuspecting seniors. Here's what they don't tell you. Shark also contains high levels of urea that converts to ammonia in your body. A double toxic hit. But here's the mythbuster. If a restaurant serves it, it must be safe. Wrong again. No regulations prevent restaurants from serving high mercury fish. They're not required to warn you. That 28 shark steak could trigger symptoms mimicking Parkinson's disease within weeks for sensitive seniors. One serving exceeds your safe monthly limit. Your aging kidneys will struggle with this mercury load for the next 5 years. Shark meat also accumulates beta-methylamino L-alanine, BMAA, linked to ALS and Alzheimer's. But shark isn't even close to the worst. Swordfish, the premium poison. Here's the cruel irony. At $25.30 per pound, many seniors splurge on swordfish thinking they're treating themselves to something healthy. With 0.995 ppm mercury, nearly 1 full part per million, Swordfish delivers enough mercury to cause measurable cognitive decline in seniors within months. Let me shatter another myth. Expensive fish is healthier. The opposite is often true. Swordfish costs 4 times more than Atlantic mackerel, but contains 20 times more mercury with 75% less omega-3s. You're paying more for brain damage. Research from 2024 found seniors eating monthly swordfish showed 30% faster memory deterioration than those avoiding it. One man's dementia-like symptoms, confusion, word-finding difficulties, balance problems reversed after eliminating his healthy swordfish habit. His neurologist was stunned. The mercury had been mimicking Alzheimer's for 3 years. But there's one fish that's even worse. Tilefish, the ultimate brain destroyer. From the Gulf of Mexico, tilefish contains a staggering 1.123 ppm mercury, 8 times higher than safe options. This is the equivalent of voluntarily taking a neurotoxin with your dinner. The FDA specifically warns against this fish, yet it's still sold in many coastal markets as golden bass or golden snapper, names designed to hide its true identity. Beyond mercury, tilefish from the Gulf contains petroleum compounds from oil spills that persist in sediment where these bottom feeders live. The combination of mercury plus hydrocarbons creates synergistic toxicity. Each toxin makes the other more dangerous. Just 2 servings could trigger tremors, speech problems, and coordination issues that mimic Parkinson's disease in seniors. At $20.25 per pound, you're paying restaurant prices to destroy your remaining neurons. One 68-year-old man required chelation therapy after eating tilefish weekly for a year. His mercury levels were in the poisoning range. But mercury is just the beginning. Here's what nobody's talking about. Polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs, contaminate 16.8% of U.S. lakes. That's 12,886 lakes, exceeding safe limits. PCBs are industrial chemicals banned in 1,979, but they persist in lake sediments for centuries. Bottom-feeding fish and predator species concentrate these cancer-causing compounds. PCBs are particularly dangerous for seniors because they're stored in fat tissue. As you lose muscle mass with age, sarcopenia affects 45% of seniors. Your body's PCB concentration increases. These chemicals disrupt thyroid function, already compromised in 20% of seniors, leading to fatigue, weight gain, and cognitive fog. But here's the newest threat: microplastics. These tiny plastic particles act like sponges, absorbing toxins from water and concentrating them up to 1 million times. When fish eat microplastics, these concentrated poisons transfer to their flesh. Larger predator fish, the same ones high in mercury, contain the most microplastics. Recent studies found microplastics in 100% of fish tested from the Great Lakes. These particles carry flame retardants, pesticides, and industrial chemicals directly into your cells. They cause inflammation, disrupt hormones, and may trigger autoimmune responses, especially dangerous for seniors with already compromised immune systems. The terrifying part? Microplastics cross the blood-brain barrier. They've been found in human brain tissue, potentially accelerating neurodegeneration. Combined with mercury, you're facing multiple neurotoxic assaults from a single piece of fish. But here's what shocked researchers. Seniors who switched from these contaminated fish to the right alternatives showed 18% less cognitive decline and 28% fewer heart attacks. The transformation can begin immediately. The 4 fish that could save your brain, the science of neural repair. Before I reveal these brain-saving alternatives, let me explain exactly how omega-3s repair your aging brain. Because understanding this will motivate you to make the switch today. Omega-3s, specifically DHA and EPA, don't just prevent damage, they actively regenerate brain tissue. DHA comprises 40% of the polyunsaturated fatty acids in your brain. After 60, your brain loses 5% of its volume per decade. Omega-3s slow this shrinkage by maintaining cell membrane fluidity, allowing nutrients in and toxins out. Here's the breakthrough. Omega-3s trigger production of neuroprotectin DUN, a molecule that prevents brain cell death and promotes growth of new neurons, even in aging brains previously thought incapable of regeneration. They increase BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, by 35%, essentially fertilizing your brain for new growth. EPA specifically reduces neuroinflammation, the hidden fire destroying aging brains. It blocks inflammatory cytokines IL-6 and TNF-alpha, which spike after 60. This inflammation reduction can mean the difference between clear thinking and confusion. But here's the critical ratio. You need at least 1 EPA to DHA for maximum anti-inflammatory effect. Most fish oil supplements get this backwards. Only whole fish provides the perfect ratio plus cofactors that enhance absorption. Let me show you which fish deliver this brain-saving combination. Herring, the forgotten healer. Atlantic herring delivers 1/710ing of omega-3s with only 0.084 ppm mercury, 13 times safer than tilefish. The EPA-DHA ratio of 0.77 to 0.94 provides optimal anti-inflammatory action. But here's what makes it special for seniors. It provides 400% of your daily B12 needs. After 60, you absorb 50% less B12 from food due to reduced stomach acid and intrinsic factor. B12 deficiency mimics dementia. Up to 15% of Alzheimer's cases are actually reversible B12 deficiency. Herring overcomes this with such high levels that even poor absorption gives you enough. At 6.8 per pound, herring costs less than a McDonald's meal while delivering pharmaceutical-grade brain protection. Pickled herring in jars costs even less, 4.5, and lasts months refrigerated. But myth alert, pickled means unhealthy. Not true. The vinegar actually enhances mineral absorption, and the omega-3s remain intact. But the next fish is even more powerful. Sardines, the accessible miracle. Don't let their small size fool you. Sardines pack 463 of omega-3s with just 0.013 ppm mercury, basically nothing. At 2.4 per can, they're the most affordable brain protection available. But here's the price breakthrough. Buying sardines in bulk at warehouse stores drops the price to 1.5 per can. That's brain protection for less than a candy bar. Here's the secret. Sardines provide 370% of daily B12 and 96% of selenium, the mineral that actually protects against mercury damage. Selenium binds to mercury, creating an inert compound your body can eliminate. This is why populations eating high selenium fish show no mercury toxicity despite exposure. Mythbuster: canned fish is nutritionally inferior. Wrong. Canned sardines with bones provide more calcium than milk, 35% of daily needs. The canning process softens bones, making calcium bioavailable. For seniors with osteoporosis risk, sardines deliver brain and bone protection simultaneously. A 78-year-old woman reversed her mild cognitive impairment score from 22 to 27, normal range, by eating sardines 3 times weekly for 6 months. Cost of transformation, 36 total. Sardines are incredible. But number 2 will shock you. Salmon, the balanced champion. Here's what nobody tells you. Farmed salmon contains 17% more omega-3s than wild-caught. 115 versus 830 per serving. Yes, farmed. The controlled diet creates higher omega-3 levels. But let me destroy the biggest myth. Farmed salmon is toxic. Studies show farmed salmon's PCB levels are still 16 times below FDA limits, and the omega-3 benefits far outweigh risks for seniors. With only 0.022 ppm mercury, salmon is 45 times safer than swordfish. But here's the game changer for seniors. Salmon provides 85% of your daily vitamin D. After 60, your skin produces 75% less vitamin D from sunlight. Low vitamin D correlates with 53% higher dementia risk. Salmon fills this critical gap while delivering brain-protecting omega-3s. Price reality check. Frozen salmon at warehouse stores costs £6.99. That's 1.75 per serving for medicine that works better than any Alzheimer's drug currently available. Compare that to Aricept at 400 month with marginal benefits and serious side effects. But here's the preparation secret. Salmon skin contains 5 times more omega-3s than the flesh. Don't remove it. Crispy salmon skin is a delicacy in Japan, where Alzheimer's rates are 45% lower than the US. Yet even salmon pales compared to our number 1. Atlantic mackerel, the ultimate brain protector. This is it, the king of senior nutrition. Atlantic mackerel delivers an astounding 580 of omega-3s. That's 18 times the daily recommendation in one serving. With just 0.05 ppm mercury, it's 22 times safer than tilefish, while costing 70% less. But here's what makes it revolutionary for seniors. Beyond the omega-3s, it provides 500% of daily B12, 133% of selenium, and something nobody mentions, 15% of your daily CoQ10 needs. After 60, your CoQ10 production drops 50%, compromising cellular energy. Atlantic mackerel is one of the only foods that can restore it. At 7-8 per pound fresh, 5-6 frozen, and 3 canned, it's accessible at every budget level. Myth destroyer. Mackerel tastes too fishy. That's because you haven't tried it fresh or properly prepared. Fresh mackerel tastes mild and buttery. The fishy taste comes from oxidized oils in old fish. One clinical trial found seniors eating Atlantic mackerel twice weekly showed 4.3% larger gray matter volumes in memory centers after just 1 year. Their brains literally grew younger. The hippocampus, ground zero for Alzheimer's, increased in size. No drug achieves this. But here's the critical part most people miss. You could choose perfect fish and destroy 85% of its benefits in your kitchen. Here's the science. Omega-3s are polyunsaturated fats that oxidize rapidly above 375 degrees Celsius. Frying at 400 degrees F+ creates harmful compounds called aldehydes while eliminating benefits. One study found pan-frying eliminated 70–85% of omega-3 content. But mythbuster, raw fish preserves most nutrients. Not true for seniors. Raw fish contains thiaminase, an enzyme that destroys vitamin bone. Gentle cooking deactivates this enzyme while preserving omega-3s. Here's what preserves maximum nutrition. Steam for 8–10 minutes at 200 degrees, bake at 325–350 degrees, never above 375 degrees Celsius for 12–15 minutes, or poach gently in liquid at 160–180 degrees Celsius. The rule: keep it under 375 degrees Celsius and minimize cooking time. Revolutionary technique. Sous vide cooking at 125 degrees F preserves 95% of omega-3s while killing parasites. You can buy a sous vide circulator for $30, less than 2 pounds of toxic swordfish. Add lemon after cooking. Heat destroys vitamin C, but adding it to cooked fish enhances iron absorption by 300% in seniors. Combine with turmeric and black pepper. This triples omega-3 absorption through enhanced cell membrane permeability. The senior's complete budget strategy. Let's destroy the myth that eating healthy fish is expensive. Here's the real math. Toxic swordfish, 25 pound equals 6.25 per serving for brain damage. Atlantic mackerel, 7 pound equals 1.75 per serving for brain protection. You save 4.5 per serving while getting 3 times more omega-3s and avoiding mercury. Over a year, that's 468 saved while preventing dementia. Here's the ultimate budget plan. Week 1, 2 canned sardines 3, 1 frozen salmon 7–10. Week 2, 1 pound frozen mackerel 6, 1 can sardines 1.5, 7.5. Week 3, 2 cans herring through 8, frozen salmon 7–15. Week 4, fresh mackerel on sale 5, 2 cans sardines 3 equals 8. Monthly total 40.5 for complete brain protection. That's less than 1 restaurant meal serving toxic fish. Warehouse store strategy. Buy 24. Can cases of sardines for 35, 1.45 can. Freeze fresh mackerel in sale season when it drops to 4.99 pound. Join buying clubs where frozen salmon hits 5.99 pound in 10-pound boxes. Snap, EBT accepts all recommended fish. Senior farmers markets often have fresh mackerel and herring at 50% discount. Asian markets sell frozen mackerel at 3.99 pound year-round. Medicare Advantage plans increasingly offer 5,200 monthly flex cards for healthy food. Use these specifically for brain-protecting fish. Some plans reimburse omega-3 rich foods with doctor's prescription for cognitive decline prevention. The 2.5-year difference. How omega-3s reverse brain aging. New research from Oregon Health Science University 2024 revealed the mechanism omega-3s prevent breakdown of the nuclear membrane in brain cells. Without omega-3s, the membrane becomes rigid, DNA leaks out, and cells die. With adequate omega-3s, the membrane stays flexible, DNA remains protected, and cells survive decades longer. Seniors eating our 4 recommended fish twice weekly showed 18% reduced cognitive impairment risk, 30% slower hippocampal shrinkage, 2.5 years younger brain age on MRI scans, 28% fewer heart attacks, 40% less joint inflammation. But here's the finding that shocked everyone. Seniors with the ApoE4 gene, the Alzheimer's gene affecting 25% of the population, showed the most improvement. The omega-3s literally prevented their genetic destiny. Within 1 year, ApoE4 carriers eating high omega-3 fish showed normalized brain cell membrane integrity. The mechanism, ApoE4, causes defective cholesterol transport in the brain. Omega-3s bypass this defect, delivering essential fats directly to neurons. 1 serving of Atlantic mackerel provides more protection than any pharmaceutical drug currently available for cognitive decline. Yet 73% of seniors still choose high mercury fish, unknowingly accelerating their own cognitive decline. They're paying more money to age faster. Before you leave, there's one more thing that determines whether fish saves or destroys your brain: your genetics. New genetic tests can reveal if you're an ApoE4 carrier, someone who needs double the omega-3s for protection. If you have this gene, Atlantic mackerel isn't just recommended, it's essential for preventing Alzheimer's. The test costs $99,199 through 23andMe or Ancestry Health. Medicare covers genetic testing with family history of dementia. Knowing your status changes everything about how much fish you need. ApoE4 carriers need 3-4 servings weekly of high omega-3 fish, not just 2. But here's what's criminal. Most doctors don't know this. They're still recommending low-fat diets that starve ApoE4 brains of essential fats. You need to be your own advocate. Remember, after 60, your body accumulates mercury for 5 years from a single wrong choice. But it starts building protection from the very first serving of the right fish. The choice you make at the fish counter this week could determine whether you're solving crosswords or struggling with confusion 5 years from now. The fish you ate last week is still releasing mercury into your brain, but the fish you eat tomorrow starts healing immediately. Which future will you choose? Share this with every senior you care about. Comment below which toxic fish shocked you most. I read every comment. Subscribe if protecting your aging brain matters to you. I release new senior health revelations every week that could save your life. Your brain's future is swimming in front of you. Choose wisely.